From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Breaking news here just moments ago. Governor Sean Parnell announced that he will run for re-election. Now we'll have more on that story later on in this newscast.
All right, continuing with our news tonight, our other top story, Alaska State Troopers say they're investigating the death of 26-year-old man as a homicide. In a news release, they say around 6:30 Thursday morning, the body of Jordan Baker was found in a residence in the interior village of Minto.
Now, troopers are not releasing much information into the circumstances surrounding Baker's death, but sources close to the news center say he had been stabbed.
Now, they say a suspect has been identified, but no arrests have been made at this time.
Baker's body has been sent to the state medical examiner's office in Anchorage for an autopsy.
And Minto is located approximately 130 road miles northwest of Fairbanks. And as we said, an investigation into the incident continues.
A 21-year-old Fairbanks man was given a one-year prison term on reduced charges stemming from an alleged sexual assault incident on the UAF campus in early 2012. During hearings Friday morning, Marcus Camacho pleaded guilty to single counts of attempted sexual assault and fourth-degree assault, both misdemeanor offenses. As part of the agreement, Camacho must also register as a sex offender for 15 years. Camacho was sentenced in front of State Superior Court Judge Michael McDonald and must turn himself in to begin serving his jail term by May 15th. Camacho was originally charged with first-degree sexual assault, an unclassified felony offense that carries a possible 99-year prison term. According to University of Alaska Fairbanks Police, the assault took place on January 28, 2012 at a school-sanctioned UAF dance at the Woods Center.
A convicted child killer faces a maximum 70 years in jail after striking a plea deal in state court Friday afternoon. During a scheduled hearing, Carl David Jr. pleaded guilty to a single count of second-degree murder in the April 17, 2012 murder of 2-year-old Jacob Williams, the son of his former girlfriend. David admitted to Fairbanks police that he assaulted the child after Jacob had apparently wet the bed. The child sustained a broken neck and other injuries and died shortly after the attack. Sentencing in the case is set for September 17th in front of Judge Douglas Blankenship. Now reached for comment, David's Anchorage-based attorney Brendan Kelly called the agreement a, quote, effective resolution to a tragic situation, end quote, while state prosecutors called the case disturbing.
Very disturbing case in many respects. It is a good thing, I think, however, for the community and for the mother, the family, the rest of the family, that Mr. David is willing to take responsibility and plead guilty to murdering the child in this instance.
Plea agreement right now, he's pled guilty to murder in the second degree. The judge will have a significant range available for sentencing. It's certainly obviously a tragedy, one that Mr. David is extremely remorseful for, and I think that that's what the judge will be hearing at the sentencing hearing. And we're optimistic that he will be able to move on from this tragic event.
The last time Alaska Congressman Don Young came to the 49th state, he had been the subject of much criticism connected to statements he had made. Well, now he's back, and as he puts it, it's all water under the proverbial bridge. Young, who has held Alaska's only seat in the U.S. House of Representatives since 1973, has been the focus of an investigation by the House Ethics Committee for alleged misdeeds. But it was comments Young had made referring to Hispanic migrant workers in derogatory terms that caused him controversy around the nation. Young issued a statement saying he meant no disrespect by his comment, but anyone expecting him not to run for re-election would be mistaken. Now he says he's already moved on from his recent verbal missteps.
You know, this is one of those unfortunate things, and it occurred. I apologize for it. The ironic thing is that when I got back to Washington, D.C., the Hispanic caucus was very supportive. Came up, in fact, I'm playing golf Monday with the group. I'm one of the few people who plays with the caucus to try to raise money for scholarships for the Hispanic students. So everything's good that way.
All right, Daryl, what do you think about this weather?
Just terrible.
It is.
Yeah, I try not to think about it too often.
All right, well, Mike Schultz is joining us for our first look at weather. Mike, what do you think about this weather?
It's like a broken record, Stephanie. I'm just, like everybody else, really frustrated with what's going on. there is some light at the end of the tunnel. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But right now, looking at our radar across the interior, as we zoom in, you'll see once again we have quite a bit of snow shower activity to the north of the Fairbanks area, and it's continuing to stay there. It may possibly drift back over this evening and give us mixed rain and snow, and then as the temperatures cool down overnight, some snow. But after that, things look a little better. And as you can see, once again, looking around the Fairbanks area, there's a pretty good stream moving across from the northwest. Down the lower 48, we're talking once again about lots of rain and snow, and we'll talk about all the weather later on when we come back looking at weather. Stephanie, Daryl?
I think it's making him wacky because the snow just won't go away.
Wacky weather. When we come back, Senator Lisa Murkowski does her annual Fairbanks Spring Luncheon.
And an anonymous $1 million gift. That story's next. Stay with us.
And welcome back. Senator Lisa Murkowski addressed members of the Interior today during the 10th annual Spring Luncheon. The senator updated guests on numerous hot-button issues currently being discussed in Washington and, of course, energy-related concerns here in the state. One issue recently decided concerned additional gun control legislation. Last month, the U.S. Senate resoundingly defeated efforts to ban certain types of firearms and ammunition magazines. Senator Murkowski, who met with local media before the luncheon, said she is in favor of certain additional background check measures, but only after ensuring Second Amendment rights are not violated.
It's what we have accepted. I don't view that as a threat to my Second Amendment right. Where I think the concerns really stemmed was when you extend these background checks to private transactions, then we're into another realm. Then we get to a situation where is this a road to gun registration?
Governor Sean Parnell a short time ago announced his plans for his political future at a reception going on right now in Fairbanks. The governor is currently at the Alaska Federation of Republican Women's Convention at Pike's Waterfront Lodge. Now, he told the gathering that he does intend to seek re-election to the office of governor. He said that they have a good team and need to continue the work they are doing. Parnell had been seen as a possible challenger to Democratic U.S. Senator Mark Begich.
An Anchorage man was sentenced to 40 months in federal prison after pleading guilty to drug conspiracy Wednesday in Anchorage's U.S. District Court. Now, the U.S. Attorney's Office alleged the 25-year-old Damar Moultrie and his co-conspirators, who are still awaiting sentencing themselves, sold substances such as cocaine, marijuana, and oxycodone dating back from 2009 through 2012, both in Anchorage and here in Fairbanks. After one of the co-conspirators was arrested, Moultrie and 3 others fled town. However, officials arrested Moultrie in Rochester, New York last August.
A Fairbanks man has reportedly donated a very large sum of money to the high school he graduated from in Washington State in 1938. Now, the 93-year-old man, who wishes to remain anonymous, donated $200,000 to the Tenino School District. Per his wishes, the school district used that money to bolster its music and vocational programs. He indicates in his will that another $1 million will go to the district when he passes. According to school officials, Tenino's benefactor made his money gold mining in Alaska.
Normally this time of year, the ground is clear and the folks at the Fish and Game Department are preparing their pond for Kids Fun Day. Unfortunately, because of this year's extended snowfall and colder than normal temperatures, the outdoor activity planned for May 18th has been canceled. Officials say the ice pond is still frozen, while the field that normally is the site for numerous outdoor activities and concessions is covered by 1.5 feet of snow. This is only the second time in 13 years that the event has had to be canceled.
The biggest draw at Kids Fish and Game Fun Day is the fishing pond, and as of today the pond is covered by about 20 inches of snow and it's still frozen solid, so it'll be a very, very late thaw on that. The other problem is it's not just the pond. We could wait till the last minute for that, but the field has to be dry enough to set it up a day or two in advance and to let everybody walk through it without hip boots on.
Joe, what is all of this crazy weather doing to sports?
Well, it's kind of the topsy-turvy schedules and everything, but you won't believe this.
Okay,
there was a track meet today.
Outside in the snow?
Well, not really in the snow, kind of like around it.
Oh, okay.
And it was the first one of the season, and there were some rough conditions, but the kids, they were happy to get one started. We'll have that. The history was made last night in the interior. Got to find out what it was coming up next.
You're keeping the mystery going.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Like it.
Hello, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook in the sports seat for you, and it's TGIF. Our Friday sports start a big weekend of interior sports action. And finally, our track and field athletes had an official meet. Today at Lathrop High School, area teams participated in the first meet of the season in the interior, and it's already May. Athletes and coaches are cramming to see who can do what because regionals will be next week, and the state meet is the week after. Today was the boys and girls 3,200 meter races, as well as boys shot put, girls discus, and the high jumps, which were in the gym. The athletes here were clearing 4 feet and 4 feet 2 inches. Saturday's event at 10:30 a.m. will include girls shot put, boys discus, and the rest of the running events will be at 12:30. The long jump and triple jump will be delayed until regionals because of pit conditions. Today, the 3,200 meter races were owned by 2 West Valley seniors. Emma O'Connor finished with a personal record 13 minutes and 21 second time, and Miko Sayer finished in first in 10 minutes and 28 seconds. They talked about their performances and being out on the track for the first time this year despite the rough conditions.
Probably after the first mile, I thought I could pick it up a little bit and go faster, so I just did. It just means I gotta get faster, but just hope for the best. It's really nice. I like the track a lot, and I'm glad that it's not as cold as it used to be, and there's not as much snow.
It's hard to run as fast in the cold, at least, particularly for me. So that's why I alternated in between fast and slow, was to ensure that I didn't get too locked up from the cold. It's crazy. We've never had a track season quite like this. It's nice to be able to get out and run on the track because we've been doing intervals on snow and on the asphalt, and this is our first official meet, so it's nice to have an official time, have it feel like a real meet and not just a time trial.
And Allison Norton signed her national letter of intent to play softball for Bethany Lutheran College in Mankato, Minnesota. Norton, a North Pole infielder, signed the letter early in April during a campus visit. She liked it so much she chose Bethany over several other schools, including a Division II program in South Carolina. Bethany is a solid program, finishing 13-8 in the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference, and they went 20-18 overall this season. Norton is a 4-year starter for the Patriots and has been the team captain the last 2 seasons. Norton also won 2 state titles in the Amateur Softball Association. And the Lathrop Malamute baseball team will have their season opener this evening against Delta. The Huskies are taking on all interior teams, it seems, since they have the only suitable field. But the Malamutes are finally going to be on the field, and we caught up with them last month during practice inside the gym. And they talked about their expectations and goals with the team made up of new faces after a 4th-place state finish last year. The competition and development of the new players could be the key to the team's success this season.
A lot of fun. It's a lot of guys trying to just battling every day. Nobody has a position set, so we're just trying to work and kind of take our reps while we're here in the gym and see how it goes.
A lot of young talent. We have a lot of really young athleticism, and I think the talent and the athleticism will really bring the team together and make us pretty good.
I'm very impressed. They are a lot more advanced than other kids their age in the conference are at baseball, and I think we're going to have a really good year.
And last night, history was made at Birch Hill. The Wednesday night race series had a race in May. That was the first ever Nordic ski race in the month of May at Birch Hill. 28 skiers were a part of history, and 2 Nanuks finished 1 and 2. Max Olix, the German and Nanuk junior skier, finished first for the men in 12 minutes, 27 seconds. Lex Trennan, a UAF grad student, was 3 seconds behind at 12:30. Dana Jade led the ladies with a 17:31 time. David Edick was the top masters finisher in 14 minutes and 3 seconds. And Ty Donaldson was the top youth skier with a 15:20 time. And along with the track meet at Lathrop High School this weekend, you can get your running shoes on as well and be a part of a running event. The 33rd annual Chena River Run will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. and over 700 runners have signed on, and even more will probably sign up by the race start. The beginning of the 5K is at Wood River Elementary School and will end at Princess Riverside Lodge. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while tonight on the Sports Nightcap. Game 3, the Ice Dogs and Wenatchee Wild. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again for a look at weather, starting off with an interesting photograph night. This was sent in by my wife, and I'm glad she sent it in because it shows the danger that we're getting into right now with these icicles hanging down off the roofs. I mean, not only can they just come down and cause some injury, but they can also damage your car quite a bit. So if you have icicles hanging around, make sure you knock them down before they get too long. Again, if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to Mike Schultz at ktvf11.com. What's going on as far as our satellite, actually our numbers right now, we're looking at 34 after a high of 39. We almost hit the 40-degree mark. The low last night, 27. Record high, 70. 1995, 0 in 1945. Sunrise and sunset, about 17 hours and 20 minutes of daylight. And our satellite picture, again, showing lots of moisture coming out of the southwest. Normally that'd be warm, but there's still cold air trapped to the north of the Alaska Range. And like we said earlier, we have a lot of showers still around the Fairbanks area, so we've got to keep an eye on that. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, the rain continues to fall over the southeastern sections, especially around Juneau. Some snow up in the north slope and clearing up pretty nice on the west coast, and then cloudy skies across the interior right on down to around Kodiak, where they're looking at rain shower activity there. Lower 48 weather tonight. Still pretty nice out to the west. Unfortunately, the hot temperatures are giving the folks there a lot of fuel for the fires that are going on, and also the Santa Ana winds. We have a lot of rain moving across the central plains, and that's unusual because we had snow a few days ago, but now it's raining on top of that snow. Flooding could be a real big problem, so you've got to keep an eye out for that. The jet stream next week is going to be way up to the north, which is going to allow a lot of warm air to return, but also all the humidity will help trigger showers and thunderstorms all the way across the country, even on the west coast. Maybe that'll help put out those fires. Who knows? Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections. Flurries expected at Barrow, mostly sunny skies in Nome, and snow showers are expected at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we're going to have a mix of rain and snow for both Fairbanks and Healy. Kind of sloppy tomorrow, that's for sure. And as far as southeast Alaska, rain for Juneau, a slight chance of rain for Ketchikan, while out to the southwest, it looks like not too bad. Partly cloudy at Bethel, mostly cloudy skies for Kodiak and Cold Bay. And over the south central regions, rain and snow once again at Anchorage, Homer, and Valdez. Okay, what's going on in that forecast for tonight? Well, like I said, it's going to be looking, no kids weather watch tonight, because actually we've been talking with the kids from Chinook Charter School. They're out of the picture because next week we're going to be talking with the kids from Hunter Elementary School. All right. We'll look forward to that. Now, here's your forecast for tonight. 23 degrees for the overnight low. Periods of rain and snow developing later on. Again, very sloppy. Tomorrow for the Chena River Run. And might be a little hit and miss here and there with snow mixing with rain by afternoon, but still have a good turnout, 36 degrees. And the extended forecast, you gotta love the temperatures, warming back up again. We're gonna be optimistic and try and push those things up to the 50-degree mark by next Tuesday or Wednesday. Overnight lows will also be rising quite a bit. And one note to pass along, tomorrow at the Creamers Field area, they're gonna have a nature walk until about 2 o'clock. So check that out if you're looking for something interesting to do with the family.
All right, sounds good.
But it's
Yeah,
kind of
but
sloppy,
if you
though.
want to do it in the snow,
That's all right. We're hardcore Fairbanksians. We can do that.
we can, but when are we going to see the sun? Oh, Mr.
Never.
Sun?
Never.
No.
No.
Well, let's don't let Joe do the weather.
Okay, well, KTVF and Bailey's Furniture are, as we have been telling you, teaming up for a Spring Dream giveaway, where you can win a furniture package from Bailey's valued at, drumroll please, $2,500.
You can tune into the Fairbanks Evening News and News Center Final from today until May 23rd for the first half of the mystery word.
Then visit Bailey's Furniture for the second half and complete your entry for your chance to win. We'll announce the lucky winner during the Fairbanks Evening News on Friday, the 24th of May.
Okay, and that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the growing battle against a big California wildfire. That's next with Brian Williams.
You can find all our news, weather, and sports online at webcenter11.com.
And you can find all kinds of birds out there now, Creamers Field, finally.
That's right.
Daryl was out there the other day and got some video. We're going to leave you with that. From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night. We'll see you back here at 11.